Hey, what's going on everybody? Commander Crane here, and we are back with another video. So today, we're going to be talking about the best Pioneer reprints from Commander Masters. I know what you're thinking, oh, it was for Commander, there's not going to be any good Pioneer reprints in here, but yes, there is. It's a little bit of a mixture from cards from the actual set itself, but also cards from the Commander decks themselves. These Commander decks were very spicy, had some very good reprints, and we're going to be talking about those today. Before we hop into the video, though, let me know in the comment section below, what's your favorite card that's coming out in Commander Masters? Reprint, new card, whatever. Just let me know in the comment section below. So, okay. I picked out 10 cards from the list here, but a little bit before we hop into it here. So, the main thing is, one, it's not necessarily in price order. So, obviously, like, a great example, and also leading into number 2, is Cyclonic Rift was in the reprints, but I did not include it on the list, because it's not really seeing any play in Pioneer. The cards that are on the list, they at least see some Pioneer play here and there, whether or not in main boards or sideboards, but they are featured in the metagame as well. I didn't pick, like, Dryad of the Elysian Grove. It's a fantastic card, but it doesn't see any play in Pioneer, just Modern. So, I wanted to before we hop into it here, I just wanted to go over that real quick. So, okay, 10 cards. Number 10 on the list is Days Undoing. Days Undoing is a very, very fun card for some people, but for some people it's not very fun. But it floats around the $5-10 price range. Definitely a very welcome reprint in general. Obviously, it helps keep the format a little bit cheaper. So for those people who want to maybe build some spicy decks, but don't want to, give out $10 a piece for a card they might play in one fun deck at an FNM, that kind of stuff adds up. So anyways, Days Undoing is our number 10. Number 9 on the list is Gale Rider Sliver. So it's not necessarily just Gale Rider Sliver, it's more of all of the Pioneer slivers in general, like Gale Rider Sliver, Siphon Sliver, Venom Sliver, Sliver Hive Lord, that kind of thing. It's really just all the Pioneer slivers that they reprinted. If you're interested in building Pioneer slivers, 2 things actually. One, I actually built a very spicy Pioneer slivers deck the other day on my channel. You should definitely check that out in the deck, what do you want to call it? The deck text. There we go. That's what it is. But second thing being just, it's a good time to pick them up right now. A lot of them just got reprinted. So, definitely a lot of opportunity there. So number 8 on our list is Helix Sun Crown. So I know what you're thinking. Oh, Ballista's banned in the format. Really not a lot of people play the card. But I do see Helix Sun Crown pop up every so often. In the Pioneer metagame, as a fair card, it's still fantastic. Obviously, whenever you gain, put a pulse-on-pulse counter on a creature you control. Obviously, if you're playing, like, a mono-white life gain aggro deck, you're going to love Helix Sun Crown. The only problem is the card's been, $15-20 for forever. So, that's been part of the issue. And also, I forgot to mention this before. Days Undoing is in the Planeswalker deck. What was the last card we talked about? Gale Rider Sliver, obviously in the Sliver deck. And Helix Sun Crown is in the Abzan Enchantment deck as well. So I figured I would mention that also as well. But anyways, Helix Sun Crown is number 8 on our list. Number 7, we have Chandra Awaken Inferno, obviously in the Planeswalker deck. Very cool reprint. I think this is its first real reprint, which is kind of going to be an ongoing theme with a lot of these cards. First real reprint since M21, and then it was like a special card you could get out of standard in the promo pack. But Chandra Awaken Inferno is a very, very good sideboard card in Pioneer. Overall, obviously control decks have a hard time beating it. 3 very, very good modes. Overall, just a very, very welcome reprint. Why not? I'm probably going to pick some of these up myself because I know they were really creeping up for a while. And obviously with this reprint, it's going to be going down in price. So very good reprint at number 7. Number 6, which I think this is going to be a surprise to some people, is Elvish Mystic. So I know what you're thinking. Oh, it's a common. Why would you put this on here? Elvish Mystics are going for $2 a piece right now. It's the craziest thing. It's $1.50, $2 a piece. So you're looking, at worst, you're looking probably about $5 for a playset, $6 up to $8 just to get a playset of Elvish Mystics, which is kind of annoying considering you can get its cousin Llanowar Elf for a quarter, 2 for a quarter. Llanowar Elves are super duper cheap, but they just don't reprint Elvish Mystic as often as Llanowar Elves. So I figured I would throw this on here. Also, that art is gorgeous on the right. I love that. I'm definitely going to be picking those up. Definitely going to try and find some in foil, which hopefully they won't be too pricey, and I don't think they will. But I wanted to put this on number 6 because it's just annoying that this card is $2 a piece. Make this card so cheap. It should be the same price as Llanowar Elves. Obviously we do a lot of budget decks and stuff on the format, and it's always annoying when like a common is taking up $8 of your total, which is so frustrating. But anyways, Elvish Mystic, number 6. Number 5, we have Shondra Defiance, just the other good Chandra that they put in the Planeswalker deck. Shondra Defiance, obviously very good card in Pioneer. Sees some main board play and a lot of sideboard play. Obviously, one of the best Planeswalkers in the game overall, one of the best in the format. Very welcome reprint in the Planeswalker deck as well. The Planeswalker deck, in my opinion, has the best Pioneer reprints overall. So if you're looking to double dip, definitely the Planeswalker deck is a pretty darn good way to go. Play a fun commander deck, and then you want to play some Pioneer, and you just use your Chandras real quick. It's a win-win scenario is what they call that. All right, so now we're heading to the, we got 4 cards left, kind of my spicier picks, I would say. So number 4, we have Heroic Intervention. 1 in a green instant, permanent control again, hexproof indestructible until end of turn. Obviously fantastic. Heroic Intervention is one of those cards where a lot of green decks like it in the sideboard, but the issue I find with some players is how pricey this card is, so they don't want to pick it up for their decks. I know I own a couple Heroic Interventions, and it's frustrating because I kind of want a playset, but they're like over $20 a piece just to get some. So Heroic Intervention, definitely a very, very good sideboard card, and a very, very welcome reprint. Like, when I immediately was building this list, I know one of the first cards I was going to put on it was Heroic Intervention. So very, very welcome reprint. And you know what? They're reprinting this card a ton. They just reprinted it in the not the Lord of the Rings one, but one of the other commander decks. I think it was the Warhammer one. I just keep reprinting this card. This card needs to be like a $4 card. Just keep on reprinting it. All right. Number 3, we have the Great Hench. 2 green cards right in a row. Obviously, Great Hench. When Pioneer first started, the Great Hench, I feel like, was a very, very big player in the format. As time has gone on, it's a little bit less played. I think Besage You, really hurt it a lot for the most part, because obviously, a 9-mana artifact that you can just get blown up with 1 land is a little frustrating for the person that plays the Great Hench. But besides that, it's a very, very fantastic card. Again, very niche. Sometimes Karn Wish boards like it. Decks like Steelleaf Stompy or like the mono green Devotion aggro lists, they like to play the Great Hench. Just a good reprint overall. Again, very, very fantastic card. They've been reprinting this a lot recently, so if you're interested in picking these up, I highly suggest doing it very soon. It just had a reprint in the Lord of the Rings as like a box topper kind of thing, and they're reprinting it. This is from the main set as well. This is not from a commander deck. That would be insane if they put this in a commander deck. But anyways, the Great Hench, very, very good pickup. All right, we got 2 cards left to talk about. Number 2 on the list is Ulmog, the Ceaseless Hunger. Obviously fantastic in a number of formats. In Pioneer, nonetheless. So Ulmog, obviously really, really good in a number of different decks, like the Devotion decks with Vivian. It's really, really fantastic. Obviously there's a bunch of decks that try to cheat this in, like the Tybalt's Trickery decks. Overall, just Ulmog is just really, really, really good. This was also in the Eldrazi deck, so you don't need to sit there and try and crack packs just to get the Ulmog. If you buy the Eldrazi deck, which is a very, very fun looking deck, might I add, you're able to pick up the Ulmog. So Ulmog, definitely one of the best cards in the whole entire set in terms of reprints. It just got reprinted in the Secret Lair as well. So if you're interested in getting some Ulmogs, now is definitely the time to do it for sure. It's been reprinted twice within the last year. I would highly suggest picking those up. All right, number 1. I don't think a lot of people realize this was actually reprinted. I had to look through all the decks to scour for some very, very spicy reprints, and I found this card, and I immediately knew it was going to be number 1 on the list. It's not the most expensive card of all this, but it is the Chain Veil. Chain Veil obviously is fantastic in Planeswalker decks. It's a very, very good card in the mono green Devotion decks from the Wish board, because obviously you can go infinite with the Chain Veil, or it terms it helps you go infinite. Overall, Chain Veil is very, very, very good. The card, I want to say, sits around like $25-$30. So now that this is getting a reprint, this is going to be huge. I'm definitely going to be picking myself up a copy of this just because I already have one, but I want to get another copy just because it's the Chain Veil. It's fantastic. It is also featured in the Planeswalker deck, the Jeskai Walker deck. So obviously, if you pick that deck up, you get a Chain Veil for certain. So real quick, now that I'm thinking about it, so from the Planeswalker deck, there was, in our top 10, there was Days Undoing, the Chain Veil, Shondra Awaken Inferno, and Chandra Torch of Defiance, I believe were the only 4 cards. With honorable mention, I would say, is Narset Parter Veils. So definitely had some very, very good Pioneer reprints in that deck. I just figured I would mention that as well. So that is the entire list. Those are my top 10 cards that I think are the best reprints for Pioneer. I'd like to thank everybody for watching this video. If you want to check out some other videos on my channel, you can go ahead. I'll have a pop-up on the screen there if you'd like to check them out for yourself. We do a bunch of different discussion videos. We do deck techs, paper magic, just whatever. We got a whole bunch of fun stuff going on the channel. So I'd like to thank everybody for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.